A developing story this afternoon. We have new information on the case of that deadly shooting on 295 in Spartanburg County. It was ruled a homicide, and the family told us they thought it was a road rage incident. Nothing's really been said about this until a news conference today. The sheriff coming out and saying this was self-defense and that no charges, at least for now, are going to be filed in the shooting death of 41-year-old Travis Draper, and it really has shocked a lot of folks.
Oh, absolutely has. Fox Carolina's Carrie Weimer live for us this afternoon. And Carrie, why exactly, again, why won't anyone be charged in this case?
Like you said, Cody, earlier here today, the sheriff held that news conference, and along with the details from the case that were very shocking, he made that announcement that no charges would be filed. Of course, the people today, after knowing what happened and hearing about what happened, they're asking why.
A male subject pulled along beside Mr. Draper at the red light. Mr. Draper and the male subject got into a verbal altercation with each other about the male subjects being too close to Mr. Draper's vehicle.
This morning in a news conference, Sheriff Chuck Wright laid out the details from a road rage incident on August 5th, where 41-year-old Travis Draper was shot and killed.
Surveillance video footage shows Mr. Draper chasing the other man through the intersection of 295 on South Avenue, passing and almost striking an uninvolved vehicle, and finally pulling alongside the other man.
That's when the sheriff says things turned deadly.
Mr. Draper drew his pistol and pointed the firearm at the other man. The other man, seeing Mr. Draper pointing a gun, drew his own gun and shot one time towards Mr. Draper.
The coroner's office confirmed Draper died at the scene.
The other man, not knowing that Mr. Draper had been struck by the bullet, fled the area and continued to work.
Hours later, when reports of Draper's death were released, officials say the man contacted an attorney and provided testimony and evidence to the sheriff's office.
We've called everybody that we know, asking if there's any way or any reason how we can charge somebody in this case. There is no code of laws that I've been made aware of that we can charge this young man. He did this in self-defense.
Both the Spartanburg County Sheriff's Office and the Solicitor's Office say the other man committed no violation of the South Carolina Code of Laws. And even though the man who fired at Draper should have contacted law enforcement immediately, there was no law broken.
I'm a firm believer that in this case, I think both of them certainly were responsible for what the end result was.
Sheriff Wright told us today that he's going to be working with legislators in the CWP laws to see if something can be added where if you have to fire your sidearm or your pistol in self-defense, you have to let law enforcement know about it. Cody, Tori?